Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rhizocast. It's been a couple weeks. I've just had a lot of other things I have to do for making the money to pay the bills and all that. Anyway, as you probably noticed, a lot of the Elseworlds stuff I have an interest in. And this one, a big part of my interest in this initially was I assumed this was going to be drawn by Mike Mignola, possibly written by him since he did the cover. But no, he just did the cover. Um, he was not part of the actual creative team, but it is a cool cover. And we've got Superman and Batman. So let's just dive right in. You can tell what's going on here. It's right before the death of Superman is coming out. So this says 1994, so I'm assuming that this book is also from 1994. But it could be from late 93. And it's weird because I swear I remember the death of Superman being in 92 or 93 instead of 94, but maybe I am incorrect. So I'm trying to scan here and see if I can see the year. Strangely, I cannot. Anyway, we start off, here's Batman breaking into a building. And here they're explaining what Elseworlds is at the beginning. So this is clearly one of the first wave of that. Anyway, here we go. Batman's breaking in. He's trying to find some secret files and such. And we got these guys trying to stop him. But, you know, Batman, he's got plans for everything. So, he's escaping. The nostalgia for the ads is interesting. I never had Super Nintendos, so I don't really have nostalgia for the weird games from it, but it is interesting to see. And it's like this as a video game, this just seems weird to me. Maybe it was good, who knows. I always love these ads showing you what else was going on at the time. We've got a Batman Punisher crossover. We've got this is when the trading cards were turning into a big thing. Let's see, what else? I guess Image had already launched at this point. And they actually had more than the initial books. Okay, so this is a little bit further in than I thought. So this is Spawn issue 22 is already out. Anyway, the cool splash page of Batman with a jetpack. And, you know, it's just him fighting these sci-fi dudes, and then he gets to the head sci-fi dude. He says, "Bruce, this is stupid. What say you and me settle things over a nice daiquiri?" And he says, how's the new hip? 33 jailbreaks, and you still haven't figured it out. You break out, I put you back in. Smart guy would have changed his name to Fred and moved to Hoboken. But you'd head here to Orchard Island, home to a climate purification plant and nothing else. On second thoughts, maybe this is Hoboken. And he gives him the drink. He says, good to see you're finally lighting him up. And he smashes him in the face. So there's an ad for The Ray. I tried to read the comic and I didn't like it that much. But there is a animated movie of The Ray that is pretty interesting to me. And here we're revealed that, so this is, I believe, Lex Luthor himself. Luthor's in charge of security on this world. And we've got this young guy who is like gonna shoot Batman, supposedly. He says, hold it, Batman, don't move, I don't want to have to hurt you. And he's just like, what's your name, son? My name? Yes, son. Miller, sir. Phil Miller. 19, maybe 20, too young to remember what things were like before the Great Landing, before the cue balls rounded the edges off life on planet Earth. The obscenity of Terrans defending the cue ball status quo makes Bruce want to crack Phil Miller's skull. Instead, he cuts the kid a break. Well, Phil, I've got to be going. I'm warning you. And he goes, your gun isn't even loaded. Maybe it's Phil's inexperience. Maybe it's the gas. He goes, but I loaded it. And he had loaded it. And he goes, lesson 1, Philip. Never take your eye off your opponent. And then he's like, hope you're hungry, Lex, because I'm going to make you eat that thing. And so it is Lex Luthor. He took a team, but he took Batman down here, planning to take him back to jail. And here, finally, 14 pages in, we see what Clark is up to. And he still had the Kents as a nanny service. So in this iteration, what's going on that's kind of interesting is that the Kryptonians en masse came to Earth. They took it over and tamed humanity to make it a perfect world, but they are definitely the rulers, and humanity is the oppressed race, not necessarily slave race, but definitely the lower classes. And so Clark is essentially the first Kryptonian that was born on Earth, and so he has a different look of things as the older generation. And he has a fondness for Batman. And here's Batman. He's kind of old man Batman. And he's there in jail, and Clark goes to talk to him. He's, I'm Kal-El, a student of Terran history. I was hoping you could answer a question for me. Why do you struggle against the Kryptonian system, particularly when it costs you so much? he goes and it says, "I've seen those eyes before, but this time they're looking at me, and it's not that, and I've nothing to hide behind, nowhere to run. I've got to make up my mind. Why?" And he doesn't answer, and he just knows in his heart why Batman doesn't want to be oppressed or whatever. And they've decided they're going to kill Batman and have it on public display instead of waiting for him to escape and arrest him again. And Clark decides he doesn't want to let that happen, so he has to break Bruce out. And of course, Lex facing off against Bruce here. And he takes Bruce out. And so some of these characters, I don't really know who they are. My DC lore is not that great. One of the things interesting with this book is in here, Superman's dad is clearly this villainous tyrant, which I know has been revisited a few times over the years, but I think this may be the first time that we see that take on Jor-El as as a villain. And then we have Clark dressing up as Superman here for the first time, and he's helping the Resistance. So I guess this is Jimmy Olsen. I read that I'd planned to do this episode a couple months ago, so it's not that fresh with me. So I guess that's Jimmy. And so Clark is trying to figure out what he's supposed to do. He's torn between the revolution, which he's emotionally in line with and feels is the right thing, versus his family is the oppressors. So it's kind of a story of Metropolis Fritz Lang. It's kind of based on that in a way, which is a cool twist. And we have that's revealed that basically, no surprise, they're in a police state where everything's on camera. And so now goes head to head, father against son. Kal-El versus Jor-El. And then also having to deal with Lex. And Lex, of course, has the kryptonite. And so Superman doesn't end up getting killed by Lex. and we find out that Batman is still around. Whether the same human or not doesn't really matter. But it has the end, but it's just like this was just like a starter. Like this could have gone on to be something interesting, lasting 4 or 5 more issues for sure. But that's where it is. Milestone, I guess, had just launched, which was a cool line. Here's an ad for the Elseworlds series. Okay, so yeah, this is summer '94. Anyway, NBA Jam for all the platforms. This is a cool read. You'll find it in dollar bins. Go ahead and pick this one up. Some of the Elseworlds I've been reading and not showing because they are not all solid. But this one, I really love this cover, and the story is good. You should check it out if it seems interesting to you. You can find it around. I'll be doing some more books soon. Thanks for hanging out.